Okay, magandang araw po sa ating lahat at eto na nga no, ibabalita natin itong si Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. May official statement na siya sa nangyari doon sa namatay na kapitan sa Digos, no? Nag-viral 'yon, nag-trending 'yon na may video na nagla-live yung kapitan at saka while nag-live stream siya ay ayan nga no, binaril siya. Oh. At makita talaga sa video na duguan siya no. At may official statement na si VP Sara dito. Mamaya babasahin natin 'yan. At itong may official statement rin na inilabas itong si Sandro Marcos. Kaugnay po dito sa akusasyon laban sa kanya dito kay Zaldico, na sinabi dito ni Sandro Marcos na handa na siyang makipagtulungan sa ICI kung sakasakaling ipatawag siya. Siyempre, nabanggit yung pangalan niya doon kay Zaldico, dapat panagutin niya yun, no? Dapat i-explain na yun. Paano niya i-explain yan ngayon kung si Zaldico ba ay nagsisinungaling o nagsasabi ng totoo? Diba? Mamaya, basahin natin ang kanyang official statement at magre-react tayo dyan. At last but not the least, heto yung pinaka trending ngayon, no? Ang lawyer ni Zaldico nagsalita na, no? Patungkol po sa akusasyon ni Bongbong Marcos na binablackmail raw niya ang presidente. At sa last vlog po natin, hindi po tayo naniniwala doon. Diba? So, sabi ng lawyer ni Zaldico ay hindi po yun totoo ang sinabi ni BBM. Okay? So, panoorin natin yung video na yan. In-interview itong lawyer ni Zaldico. Nag-e-explain siya dito bakit hindi totoo ang sinabi ni BBM. Okay? Mamaya, ipapakita natin yan. Pero guys, bago ang lahat, help me po muna na i-like at saka i-share itong video na ito para guys, kakalat ito sa taong bayan. Okay? Sabay-sabay muna tayong mag-like and share sa Donmar TV. Itong video na ito, like and share. 1, 2, 3, go! Okay, naka-like and share na ba lahat? And also guys, sa mga bago pa lang dito sa aking channel, mag-subscribe na po kayo para lagi kayong updated sa ating mga balita. And at the same time, yung mga cellphone ninyo, ma-notify yan kung meron tayong breaking news, bagong uploads, o kung nagla-live ang ating channel. Ma-notify kayo lahat dyan. Kaya mahalaga po na mag-subscribe tayo sa Donmar TV. 1, 2, 3, go! Ayan, nakasubscribe na ba lahat? So, unahin muna natin itong insidenteng nangyari doon sa Digos. Itong isang kapitan, no, na nasawi yung buhay while nag-live siya. Ginurgur siya. I think ginaril yun binaril siya. Maraming mga nasa comment section na babasa natin at sa mga usap-usapan na mga post na ito raw kapitan sa yung pinatay ay very loud itong kapitan na ito, no? Talagang binabanatan niya ang mga pasaway na mga government officials sa kanilang probinsya. Meaning to say, yung mga local government, nakita ko nga yung mga previous na mga videos niya nung hindi pa siya namatay, ay talagang siya po'y nasasaktan doong mga tao doon papunta sa kanya para manghingi ng tulong. Binabanatan niya yung local government na itong mga lumalapit raw sa kanya ay nagrereklamo sa local government na walang naitulong, ganun, ganyan, no? So, may binabanatan siya, no? Tapos, supporter ito ng ni Vice President Duterte. May picture, no? So, meaning to say, kung lalima natin at lawakan natin ang pag-uunawa natin dito sa kapitan na ito, galit siya sa mga corrupt officials. Specifically, ito mga pangyayari ngayon sa flood control anomaly, galit siya dyan. Kung ano-ano siguro ang mga banat niya sa social media, ay siguro hindi natin alam kung sino ang natamaan niya sa kanyang mga banat, ay siguro may nag-utos na igurgur siya. So nagurgur siya. So, syempre, naalarma po ang buong sambayan ng Pilipino sa nangyari nitong kapitan na ito. Kasi nagrarally nga doon eh. Talagang nagtipon-tipon yung mga tao doon, no? At sumisigaw doon sa labas siguro yun ng hospital, nagagalit sila. Siyempre, maraming nagsasabi na itong kapitan na ito ay mabuting tao, tumutulong, bla bla bla. Imagine, kapitan yan ha, pero tumutulong, no? So, siyempre yung ating Vice President Sara Duterte ay naalarma rin sa mga pangyayari. Kaya nagpalabas na siya ng official statement patungkol po dito sa nangyari dito sa Kapitan San Digos. At ito po ipapakita natin. Yan. Lakihan natin para sabay-sabay nating basahin. Hindi lang ako ang magbabasa. Okay? Ito, pahayag. Ito na yon ha. Ipinahayag ko ang matinding galit at dalamhati sa pagpaslang sa barangay kapitan ng 3 de Mayo, Digos City. Okay? Buti pa itong Vice President natin ha. Nakiramay, nagalit. Yung presidente, nasa na? Nasa na kaya yung presidente? Natatanong lang tayo ha. Na ang pangalan ay si Digos City sa kapitan ng 3 de Mayo Digos City na si Oscar Bukol Jr. Yan ang pangalan niya. O mas kilala bilang Kapitan Dodong. Ginampanan lamang ni Kapitan Dodong ang kanyang karapatang magsalita sa korupsyon at politika nang malaya at ito ay pinatahimik gamit ang baril at bala. So sa madaling salita po, naaalarma po tayo. Kasi si Kapitan po ay isa sa atin na nalungkot, nagalit sa mga corrupt officials ng ating pamahalaan. 'Di ba tayong lahat, mga Pilipino, nagrarally, sumisigaw sa galit. Tapos may mabalitaan natin na ganito pinatahimik. 'Di ba nakakaalarma 'yon? Dapat nga pagtuunan ito ng pansin ng ating administrasyon. Dapat nga makialam si BBM dito. Nakakaalarma po ito. Hindi na ba pwede tayong pwedeng magpalabas ng ating saloobin? Kung may nakikita tayong mali, pag-aabuso nitong mga government officials na ito, wala na ba tayong karapatan para i-express ang ating anger sa kanila? Tapos kung matatamaan sila sa galit natin, ito yung kapalit. Papayag na lang ba tayo mga Pilipino na itong mga kurakot sa gobyerno ang magdominar ng ating bansa? Kapag matuklasan ang kanilang kabalastugan, sila po'y nagagalit at tayo po'y pinatatahimik? Nakakaalarma po ito. Dapat po itong maimbestigahan. Dapat malaman natin sino ang mastermind, ang nag-utos nito sa pagpaslang ng kapitan na yan. Kasi kung hindi, aabuso itong mga taong ito. na dali-dali na lang tayong patatahimikin sa ating mga natuklasang mga kabalastugan nila. Sabi pa dito ni VP Sara, ipinapaabot namin ang aming pakikiramay sa pamilya. Okay? In behalf of the Donmar TV na mga audience, nakikiramay rin kami sa pamilya ng kapitan, si Kapitan Oscar Bucol Jr. Mga kasamahan at komunidad na naapektuhan ng trahedyang ito. Kami po nakikiramay rin, no, sa mga naapektuhan, especially sa mga sumuporta kay Kapitan. Sa pag-alala sa kanya, muli naming pinagtitibay ang aming paninindigan na protektahan ang mga karapatan at kalayaang nagbibigay daan sa lahat ng magsalita, magtanong at makikibahagi ng walang pangamba. Hindi tayo yuyuko kailanman. We Filipinos deserve better. Shukran. Sara Z. Duterte, the Vice President of the Philippines, dated 27th of November 2025. Alam niyo, sa totoo lang, no? Nangyari po ito na nagurgor ang kapitan dahil sa korupsyon. Yung mga taong alam nila na may ginagawa silang pangungulimbat ng pera in any form, no? Kung paano nila yon kinurakot, sila po'y nagagalit na ang taong bayan ay nagagalit. Sa tingin nyo ba may hustisya sa ganyan? Dahil sa pangungurakot ninyo, nagagalit yung tao at nagagalit rin kayo kasi nagagalit kami? Tapos pinagurgur nyo pa? Ganyan na ba ang mga government officials natin ngayon? Ito po'y nakakaalarma. Sana naman aabot ito kay Bongbong Marcos. Kasi umabot ito kay VP Sara, bakit hindi ito umabot kay BBM? Bakit wala siyang statement patungkol dito? 'Di ba? So, you might as well think twice kung matido pa ba ang administrasyong ito. Sa kaninyo galing po ang problemang ito. Hindi sana na nagurgor itong si Kapitan kung hindi kayo nangungurakot. Si Kapitan lamang po ay nag-criticize sa mga maling gawain. Tapos sila po'y nagagalit. Ginurgor nila yung Kapitan. Kung papabayaan po itong mga ganitong klaseng insidente, dadami ang mga mang-aabuso sa atin. Kaya nga nagpapasalamat tayo kay VP Sara. At least nagpalabas siya ng statement at nagpakita siya ng galit sa ginawa ng Kapitan. At siya po'y nakikiramay sa lahat. Okay? Eto. Ewan ko na lang kung papansinin ni Bongbong Marcos itong insidente ng Kapitan. Heto naman, kayo po ba'y maniniwala dito kay Sandro Marcos? Yan ang malaking tanong. Kasi nagpalabas na siya ng official statement na willing po siyang makipag-cooperate sa ICI. Okay? Dahil nabanggit na ang pangalan niya dito kay Zaldico. Ito, lakihan natin para sabay-sabay pa rin nating basahin. Okay? Ito. Ito po ay Republic of the Philippines, House of Representatives, Quezon City, Metro Manila, Office of the Majority Leader, which is si Sandro Marcos. Okay? Opisina ni Sandro Marcos kasi siya yung majority leader eh. Nangyari po itong letter na ito kahapon, no? November 26, 2025. Honorable Andres B. Reyes Jr., chairperson ng Independent Commission on Infrastructure or itong ICI. Para po sa inyo ito, no? Sulat galing kay Sandro Marcos. Dear Chairperson Reyes, I extend my full respect to the work of the Independent Commission on Infrastructure and its effort to uncover the truth behind the ongoing investigation on flood control projects. Nirerespeto raw ni Sandro Marcos ang ICI na ginawa ng kanyang tatay. Let me state this clearly and without hesitation. I am willing to appear before the commission at any time. Willing raw siyang magpakita, okay, doon sa ICI kung ipapatawag siya. I welcome the opportunity to shed light on any matter that may assist your review. Yan, English pa ito ha. So meaning to say, gusto niyang makipagtulungan dito sa mga isiniwalat ni Zaldico. I stand ready. Handa na raw siya to cooperate, answer questions, and provide any clarification needed to move this investigation forward. Please inform my office of the schedule you deem appropriate. You have my commitment that I will be there. So, okay po ang ginawa ni Sandro. Okay? Ina-assure niya ang ICI na anytime na iimbitahin siya, ay pupunta siya. Atin po niyang atin po niyang tatandaan, Sandro Marcos, if you are willing. Okay? Kasi po, ito po yung hinihintay ng taong bayan na kayo po'y sumagot na dito sa akusasyon ni Zaldico. Kasi hindi po biro ang mga akusasyon ni Zaldico. Kung si Zaldico po ang pakinggan mo at tingnan yung mga ebidensyang inilabas niya, yun po ay nakakagalit ng mamamayang Pilipino. Sa pagiging majority leader mo nga, hindi namin nagugustuhan yan. Wala kayong delikadesa. Bakit na maging majority leader ka? I know, ikaw ay inappoint ka lang ng mga congressman. Pero kung meron ka talagang delikadesa na alam mo yung tatay mo ay presidente at siya yung executive branch na leader, ay sana ikaw hindi ka na lang nang hihimasok dyan sa House of Representatives. Ayaw nga ni former President Duterte dati na kaalyado niya ang magiging House Speaker dyan sa House, sa HOR. Pero wala siya magagawa. Ikaw pa kaya na ikaw ang anak? Baka sa susunod, ikaw na yung maging speaker dyan sa HOR. Delikadesa naman, di ba? Yun ang pinakauna kong comment ko dyan. Okay, you will cooperate. You will cooperate. Pero Sandro Marcos, sablay ka sa mga sinasabi mong DDS itong si Zaldico. Paano naging DDS si Zaldico? Na kinukontra nga niya si VP Sara. Kayo ang laging nagsama-sama dyan sa House of Representatives. Dahil binulgar na ni Zaldico ang mga kabalastugan ninyo, sasabihin nyo ng DDS si Zaldico. Diba? Halatang halata na napapraning na kayo. Lahat na lang ng mga issues, akala ninyo DDS ang may gawa. Hindi po sir, wake up. Si Zaldico po, kaalyado ninyo ang nagbulgar nito. Walang kinalaman po na kahit sinong DDS o kahit sinong kaalyado ng mga DDS? Wala. Kakampi nyo yan si Zaldico. Kayo-kayo lang yan ang nagbatuhan ng putik ngayon. 'Di ba? So, we are waiting for that. Sana itong ICI naman ay i-live stream nyo. Yan lang ang may comment ko dyan. At syempre, hindi papayag ang lawyer ni Zaldico na akusahan siya ni Bongbong Marcos na siya po ay namba-blackmail. Natatawa nga ako sa issue na yan na sinabi ni BBM na bina-blackmail raw siya ng lawyer ni Zaldico. Na kung hindi raw kapag ikansila raw ang passport ni Zaldico ay magpapalabas pa raw si Zaldico ng maraming video. Imagine you are the president, iba-blackmail ka lang ng isang lawyer? Kapani-paniwala ba yan? Kasi kung totoo yung sinabi ni BBM na i-blackmail ka ng isang lawyer, talagang masasabi namin, weak ka talaga. Pero sa basing on my analysis, malabo na ang isang presidente, the most powerful government official of the land, of this country, ay meron silang access ni BBM na iba-blackmail. Diba? So, panoorin po natin itong interview nitong lawyer ni Zaldico. Kung ano ang masasabi niya dito. Totoo bang blinakmail mo si BBM? Ito po yung video.
The president said that a lawyer of Zaldico approached, I guess Malacanang, approached us and tried to blackmail us by saying that if we don't cancel his passport, he will stop releasing videos. Did you or anyone from Zaldico's team approach Malacanang or the president's office?
No, I did not. I don't know anyone in that office. But let me clarify that off the bat, no? Because I got the messages for comment from the press yesterday. And I immediately reacted. And then a friend of mine, a close friend of mine from law school, asked me, "Is he alluding to you?" And I realized, I was not named. So maybe I acted prematurely. So let me say that if the palace was alluding to me, I did not approach the president or any of his men.
All right.
If it wasn't me, I'm sorry.
Does Zaldico have...
So, official yan Hindi po siya nag-approach kay BBM o sa Malacanang.
Another lawyer in the Philippines?
Not to my knowledge, which is another reason why I reacted that way. Because as far as I know, I'm the only lawyer outside of my firm.
Kinonfirm niya yan Dito sa Pilipinas, siya lang po ang lawyer ni Zaldico. Ewan ko lang sa labas.
Of course, other lawyers in my firm are also engaged, but none of them would do that, and none of them did do that.
So nobody approached the president or Malacanang blackmailing him,
So meaning to say, nagsisinungaling si BBM.
asking not to cancel his passport.
No. It's a ridiculous proposition because neither of us have anything to bargain for. I don't have the videos. I have no control over content. I have no control over the timing of the release. The palace doesn't have control over the passport cancellation. That's the prerogative of Sandigan Bayan. But why would two parties bargain over something, over two entities, two items that they don't control? It doesn't make sense. So
walang katuturan, walang sense ang sinabi ni Bongbong Marcos. Bakit isiniwalat mo na nga yung mga baho ninyo tapos ngayon ka palang magba-blackmail, di ba? Wala nang sense
I would only assume that he was misinformed. I certainly didn't call him directly. I don't know how. I don't know. He doesn't know me.
Okay, to set the record straight right now, charges have been filed against Zaldico. There's an order to cancel his passport.
No,
but has his passport been canceled?
As of yesterday at close of business, Karen, I have not received any order to cancel his passport. In fact, one of the divisions at the Sandigan Bayan, the 5th, I think, sent an order giving us 5 days to comment to the motion to cancel the passport. The 5 days have not commenced to run.
Now, is Zaldico even using his Philippine passport to travel? Because if he is, the
kasi may usap-usapan na gumamit ng ibang passport si Zaldico. At hindi raw yun passport sa Pilipinas.
Irony is it would be easy to find him anywhere he is in the world because by getting data from his passport, you would know where it was stamped. You would see entry points. So gamit po ba niya ang Philippine passport niya or does Zaldico have another passport?
I don't know. I assume that gamit niya yung passport niya. And I agree with the rest of your question. Easy for him to be tracked if he is using. Excuse me, if he's using his passport. I don't know if he has another passport.
All right.
I have no reason to believe that he does.
Okay, because if he's using his Philippine passport, then frankly speaking, the Philippine authorities would have known where he was already weeks from now, months from now.
I guess, yeah. I don't know how their intel network works, but I guess, yeah. I would agree with you.
Because you'd have to stamp the passport at an entry point.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Right. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about the videos of Zaldico. How many videos will he be releasing?
I don't know. I speculate that there are more. And the basis of that speculation is that from our conversations, I know the entire story. And what has been released isn't complete. I don't know whether he intends to release others, but I know there are more stories to tell. Now, also, I think he did say at the last video yesterday that he has others. He did confirm this. I haven't sat down really to listen to the video, but I remember hearing that he has other statements to make.
Okay.
So I don't know, but I assume.
All right. Now, the first one, let's talk about this, is Zaldico had photos of maletas, no, with
Yes.
dates on them. So, you've seen how netizens react. Ang tanong nila is, how do you know that it actually has money inside? How do you know it was actually delivered to the address or the person he claims? Does he have more regarding that particular expose?
I think so, because when I first saw the evidence, I was convinced. Of course, he told me that there was cash inside the suitcases. I didn't peek inside the suitcases. So I assume yes, because I remember being convinced. And I believe him. I believe him, first and foremost. If you refuse to believe him, there's nothing I can say or do to change your mind.
But what do you mean, sir, that you didn't peek inside the suitcases? By the time you came in, the money would allegedly have been delivered already.
Correct.
So you would have to see photos or videos of Zaldico opening the suitcases to prove there's money inside.
Correct.
Yeah.
Nakita niyo po ba yun, sir?
No, I was
hindi
speaking
po.
figuratively. I was speaking figuratively. Kasi I didn't see any photos of open suitcases either.
But does he have those photos?
I didn't see any. I don't know if he does, but I didn't see any.
But is Zaldico really able to prove that that amount of money that he claims was really delivered to former Speaker Martin Romualdez or to
Yes.
President Marcos Jr.? Does he have
Yes.
enough evidence?
He does. Yes. That's
And what
categorical.
kind of evidence would that be? Is it a photograph of a person receiving the money? Is it a person signing it? Is it a recorded message?
Well, you've seen the photograph, so he has photographic evidence. He has documentary evidence. He's got receipts. And he's got testimonial evidence. Of course, people are saying, and they are correct, that his evidence, his statements are not admissible in a court of law at this time. But once he goes under oath, then it would be admissible. So yes, he has testimonial evidence.
All
He
right.
will have testimonial evidence.
So you believe he has enough evidence. So ang tanong ng marami, sir, considering how explosive his expose is, why isn't it that he's gone to any Philippine embassy, had his testimony notarized, made it into a formal affidavit? Why isn't he doing this just yet?
He doesn't have to just yet. Because people have to understand, he's not trying to initiate a judicial proceeding. He just wants to, remember what he said in the first video, sana hindi ako mamatay bago masabi ko sa inyo lahat. So the closest analogy I can give you without going into excuse me,
Yeah.
without going into the details, no, is it's a dead man's declaration. Here's the declaration of someone who fears impending death, and hopefully it's admissible later, just in case something happens to him, because he really fears that that his life is at risk. Now, that is admissible as evidence later if something does happen to him. But for purposes of initiating judicial proceeding, no, it is not enough. Is it sufficient to initiate a criminal investigation, which is the prior stage? No. Yes, it is.
Okay.
No,
So,
it doesn't have to be under oath.
it means this is part of a legal strategy.
No, he did this on his own. That he said that I'm afraid I'm going to get killed anytime now, so the people should know. I mean, if only to clear my name, to the extent that it will work to that. It will work to that effect.
Okay, Attorney Rondain, am I right to presume that wherever Zaldico is in the world right now, there is a lawyer with him?
I don't know, but I would hope so.
Okay, you are not aware. Who is with him? Is his wife with him? Are his kids with him? Is anyone giving him advice? I mean, clearly on how he's writing it, he's not recording all of this in a day.
I assume not. I assume that he is not. But I am not helping him. Like I said,
You
I have
are
no control
not
over
helping
content.
him.
No.
You
No,
are
if I were
not.
helping him, the presentation would be more logical, more chronological. Tama naman yung observation ng iba, na patalon-talon, iba from 25 to 24 to 23 to 25. I wouldn't have done it that way. There would be less questions if I had done it my way. But that just goes to show that I had no hand in it.
Okay, but essentially, he is your client. What kind of
Yes.
advice are you?
Sa madaling salita, hindi niya kontrolado ang mga ipinalabas ni Zaldico. At wala silang direktang advice sa kanya na ito yung gagawin mo. Wala. Di ba?
Giving him, attorney?
I'm telling him what his exposures are. I'm telling him what his options are. I'm telling him what the law is, what the consequences of what he will say are, what the consequences of what they say are, things like that. But I'm also giving him a general overview and a general strategic line, but I can't discuss those with you, Karen.
Oh, okay. Now, let's start with his first video. In his first video, he says essentially that former Speaker Martin Romualdez asked him not to come home and claims that the president would protect him. Do you remember? This was in the
Yes.
first video, right? In the first few series. Does he have text messages, phone recordings to prove that the former speaker really called him?
I don't remember if he has. I don't think he has recordings. Text. I think so. No? Because
Okay.
he showed me the evidence piecemeal. I didn't see a whole batch. But I remember that there were text messages. Yes. Not
Okay.
sure. I'm not completely sure.
Oo. So, yun totoo yun. Now, does Zaldico remember Orly Guteza? Did he
Yes.
hear that testimony? Did he say anything about Guteza's testimony?
He basically validated. I don't know if he heard the whole thing. I'm not sure if I heard the whole thing, but he basically validated what Mr. Gutesa said.
He
Because
said it was true.
So. He said so in one of the videos. Gutesa was tasked to make the deliveries with his two other EAs, Paul and Mark.
Okay, so he stands by that. So he says Guteza was telling the truth.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. Now, he also, what was another explosive conversation was allegedly Budget Secretary Mina Pangandaman calling him, saying the president wants 100 billion pesos worth of projects inserted. Nandun si Yusek Adrian, alam na niya yun, diba? Tapos tinawagan daw niya si Speaker, sabi ni Speaker, ganun talaga. In effect,
Yes.
the president gets what he wants. Kumbaga, Zaldico gave a whole conversation of it, right?
Yes.
So the palace has denied this. Why would the president need to insert through the BICAM? Why not through the NEP? Did you ask Zaldico about this?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Because I was curious. That was a fair question. No? He said because if they had put it in the NEP, it would have been very obvious that infrastructure.
Yan ang sagot ni Shelo Magno ba yun? Oh. Ito yung sagot, Shelo Magno. Bakit pinapa-insert pa ito ni BBM? Bakit hindi sa NEP? Kasi sa NEP, obvious. Kung ipapa-insert yan, at least, tinatago doon. True saldi ko. Sino ba mag-aakala na presidente nagpapa-insert doon sa ano? Edi syempre, ang yung pagbibintangan si Saldico. Yun ang nangyari ngayon, di ba? Si Saldico na tinuturo ngayon.
Was exceeding education, which would have been unconstitutional. And he also said na edi halatang-halata
Hindi
sila.
ko sinabi na ginawa talaga yun ni BBM na pina-insert. Pero kung i-analyze mo, kung si BBM ay gustong mangungurakot, talagang mas maganda doon ipadaan niya kay Zaldico, ipapa-insert niya. Kasi kung magkakabulyaso po ang corruption, at least meron pang Zaldico ang pagbibintangan. Yun ang nangyari ngayon. Si Zaldico ang pinagbibintangan. Pero hindi ko lang alam kung this is still yet to be investigated kung talagang si BBM ay siya ang nag-utos niyan.
They put it in the net. Because in the insertion, it would have been hidden.
Okay. Now, Attorney Rondain, what many felt was a weakness in his testimony was when he said, wala akong kinuha dito. Zaldico made himself appear that he was innocent, that he was not inserting, he didn't get a kickback. I'm sure you caught that. What was your reaction?
Yan ang aking question rin 'di ba? Na naghugas kamay si Zaldico na ang pinagbibintangan niya yung mga binabanggit lang niya, si BBM, Sandro Marcos, F. Eliza, 'di ba? Ako sa sarili kong opinion ito siguro may nakuha rin siguro si Zaldico, pero hindi yung mas malaki talaga yung mastermind, di ba? Pero dito, pinalabas kasi ni Zaldico na wala siyang nakuha. Kayo nang humusga kung totoo bang wala siyang nakuha.
To that, why did he have to add that?
Again, Karen, I have no control over content. So, as I've said before, I let my witnesses tell their story. But I know what you're trying to say, na it diminishes his credibility. But, see, I've explained this before. In the world of public opinion, where hard evidence doesn't matter, di ba? It's sufficient for us to speculate and to surmise that it is and that. That's fine. But I don't live in that world. I live in a world where only hard evidence matters. So, I'm not diminishing the value of public opinion, but I don't have that luxury when I'm working a case. So if you're asking me, it's not believable, sige, in the world of public opinion, it's not believable. I get it. That's your opinion. You don't believe. But in the world where I live, in the world where courts function under rules of evidence, that's enough for me.
Okay.
And it should be for everyone as well.
But is Zaldico saying he did not get a kickback from the 100 billion, but it didn't mean he wasn't inserting and getting kickbacks elsewhere? Would that be fair?
It's not an issue yet, so I would not answer that. Now, if they have proof, or if anyone is willing to accuse him, then that's another story. We'll get to that. Again, in my world, we're talking about evidence, not speculation.
All right. Now, Senator Ping Lacson has spoken and said that the president knew nothing about it. In effect, he said the undersecretaries were on their own, collecting for the president, in effect, asking for insertions using the president's name. What are your thoughts on that? And did Zaldico have a reaction to that?
No, we haven't spoken about that. But here we go again. Let me wear different hats. No, in the world of public opinion, I get it, but I don't play politics. I play lawyer. If you want me to play lawyer, and with respect to Senator Lacson, he's not competent because he's not with the president 24 hours a day. You see the distinction.
Okay.
Wala ka naman dun How do you know?
Correct.
How can you certify the action, the overt actions, or the state of mind of a person you were not with? when it happened.
Tanong ko lang,
Lawyer.
Attorney Rondain, the alleged deliveries to Malacanang, right? Both Yusek Bernardo has his own version, and then Zaldico has his own version as well. Would Zaldico be able to name people who allegedly accepted the cash, the money, the maletas?
Yes, he would. I don't remember if he has, but I know that he will be able to if he hasn't already. Yes.
Okay.
He has receipts. And
Yes,
he,
receipts.
remember, yes, and he made the personal delivery, remember? He said 1 billion.
But what kind of receipts would this be? Like an acknowledgement receipt?
Yes.
A signature? Paano po yun, sir?
Acknowledgement receipt, yes.
At na nakalagay doon na parang ilang maleta, ilang bilyon, tas may pipirmang tao?
Yes. Nakita ko.
Nakita po ninyo yun.
Yes.
At yung taong ito, malinaw kung kaninong lagda po yun?
I don't remember that. But again, I have to believe my client. He said, ito was received for this, ito was received for that. So I have to believe him. Credibility na lang, no? Whether we believe him or not under the rules of court.
Okay. Now, does Zaldico in any way, in doing all of this, does he actually want to be a witness against Martin Romualdez or against the president? Is that the end goal here?
I don't think he wants to be a witness. I don't think he wants to volunteer to be a witness.
Malayo na yan, Karen, kasi nagbatuhan na sila ng putik. Di na yan, kontra na yan sila.
But if someone is summoned by subpoena, he has no choice.
Okay.
Okay, so yun po malinaw dito sa interview ni lawyer ni Zaldico na meron silang ebidensya si Zaldico na meron pong tumanggap, sino kaya ito, at may pirma. Yun ang importante, di ba? Kasi yung pirma na yun, i-confirm natin yan na kaninong handwriting yan o talagang pirma ba yan ng taong nakalagay doon, di ba? Doon lang sa korte na ang lahat ng ito. Kasi po so much has been said by Zaldico, so much has been said by the camp of BBM, Sandro Marcos. Si Liza na lang ang hindi nagsasalita. So, hintayin na lang natin kung ano. So, kayo mga audience ko dito, naniniwala ba kayo na ang lawyer na ito, ni Zaldico, ay sinabi niyang hindi totoo na binablockmail niya si BBM? Naniniwala ba kayo dyan? Mag-comment, mag-react. Ilatag nyo ang inyong argumento sa comment section. Okay? Paki-like, paki-share itong video na ito para kakalat ito sa taong bayan. And sa mga first time dito sa Donmar TV, subscribe na po kayo para updated kayo lagi sa ating mga trending na balita. Walang bayad yan, libre lang yan. Pindutin nyo yung subscribe button sa mga hindi pa nakasubscribe sa first time pa dito. Okay? See you in my next video. Have a great day. Have a great night. God bless po sa ating lahat. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. God save the Philippines.